Welcome to the mythical creatures.
The Manticora, one of the most terrifying creatures of ancient myth, has captured the imagination of cultures throughout history with its grotesque and fearsome form. Originating primarily in ancient Persian and Greek mythology, the Manticora embodies the mysterious and dangerous unknown of the natural world, blending elements of familiar animals into a monstrous, hybrid predator. Its mythology spans centuries, evolving through time as its terrifying legend spread across continents. In this deep dive into the world of the Manticora, we will explore its origins, its physical characteristics, symbolic meaning, and its role in myth and culture throughout history. The first recorded descriptions of the Manticora can be traced back to ancient Persia, around 400 BC, where it was known as Mardkor, meaning man-eater. Greek historians, such as Ctesias, who served as a physician to the Persian king, first documented the creature in the West. His accounts describe the Manticora as a deadly predator that roamed the deserts of India, and his writings significantly contributed to the transmission of the Manticora legend to Greek and Roman cultures. The Manticora is perhaps most famous for its terrifying appearance, a monstrous fusion of different animal traits that evoke primal fear. Its body is primarily that of a lion, muscular and powerful, representing the untamed strength and ferocity of the king of beasts. This lion body is covered in thick, reddish-brown fur that ripples with the creature's every movement, adding to its fearsome and predatory aura. Its head is the most distinguishing and unsettling feature. It is that of a man. However, unlike a human face, the Manticora's visage is twisted and distorted, often described as having a grotesque, snarl-like expression. Its eyes glow with an otherworldly malevolence, often depicted as burning red, further enhancing its menacing presence. Its mouth, filled with multiple rows of sharp serrated teeth, is capable of devouring flesh in one swift bite. The number of its teeth was said to be so great that they resembled the sharp rows found in a shark's maw. This feature highlights its reputation as a man-eater, able to crush bones and tear flesh with ease. Another defining characteristic of the Manticora is its long, barbed tail, which resembles that of a scorpion. This tail, capable of flinging venomous spikes, was described as both a defensive and offensive weapon. The Manticora's tail could launch its deadly spikes like arrows, piercing the armor and flesh of its enemies from a distance. These spikes were said to be venomous, causing paralysis or death upon impact, making the Manticora not just a physical threat, but a lethal adversary capable of inflicting death from afar. Finally, in some accounts, the Manticora is described as having the wings of a bat or dragon, which allowed it to swoop down on its prey from the sky. Though not always present in all depictions, this feature adds a layer of otherworldly terror to the creature, suggesting that it was not bound by the limitations of terrestrial predators, but was instead a master of the skies. The Manticora was often portrayed as a highly intelligent and cunning predator, preying upon humans with strategy and stealth. According to legend, it stalked its victims in the dense jungles and deserts of India and Persia, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It was said to be so swift that it could outrun any human or animal, and its ability to use its tail as a weapon meant it could attack from a distance, making it nearly impossible to escape once it had set its sights on a target. One of the more chilling aspects of the Manticora's mythology was its purported ability to mimic human speech. It could reportedly imitate the cries of a person in distress, luring unsuspecting travelers into the wilderness. Once its victims were close enough, the Manticora would spring from hiding and unleash a brutal attack, using its powerful jaws and venomous spikes to kill and devour its prey. In ancient accounts, it was said that the Manticora consumed every part of its victim, leaving no trace behind. This complete consumption, bones, clothes, and all, made it nearly impossible for those searching for missing persons to determine what had become of them. The Manticora left no evidence of its kill, furthering the terror it inspired in those who heard its legend. The Manticora embodies a wealth of symbolism, much of it tied to its fearsome nature and hybrid form. As a creature composed of different animal parts, the Manticora represents chaos, a force that exists outside the natural order. Its very existence challenges the boundaries of what is real and what is imagined, as it combines elements from the natural world in a way that defies logical explanation. This blending of different animals into one monstrous being mirrors the ancient fear of the unknown, particularly the fear of the wilderness and the untamed forces of nature. In some interpretations, the Manticora also represents deception and trickery, primarily due to its ability to mimic human voices and lure its prey to a gruesome death. This quality reflects a deeper cultural fear of betrayal and danger lurking behind a facade of innocence or familiarity. The Manticora's human face further complicates its symbolism, making it an almost tragic figure in some interpretations. The human-like visage on a monstrous body suggests the idea of humanity corrupted by bestial instincts, a creature torn between reason and savagery. This duality can be seen as a reflection of the human condition itself. Man's struggle between his higher, rational mind and his more primal, animalistic urges. Its insatiable hunger for human flesh and its role as a man-eater also make the Manticora a symbol of death and destruction. It serves as a reminder of the fragile nature of human life and of the dangers that await those who venture too far into the unknown. In this sense, the Manticora can be seen as a guardian of forbidden knowledge or cursed lands, its deadly presence warning those who seek to uncover hidden truths that some things are best left undisturbed. During the Middle Ages, the Manticora became a prominent figure in European bestiaries, where it was often included alongside other fantastical creatures such as the basilisk, griffin, and unicorn. These bestiaries served as a kind of moral and natural encyclopedia, blending observations of real animals with mythological creatures to impart lessons about virtue, vice, and the natural order. In these medieval texts, the Manticora was often depicted as a symbol of evil or danger, representing the untamed wilderness beyond the borders of civilized society. Its man-eating habits were emphasized as a reflection of the creature's monstrous nature, and it was often associated with satanic or demonic forces. The Manticora's ability to lure humans to their deaths was interpreted as a metaphor for temptation and sin, illustrating the dangers of straying from the path of righteousness. At the same time, the inclusion of the Manticora in bestiaries also reflects the medieval fascination with the exotic and the unknown. As European explorers ventured further into distant lands, they brought back stories of strange creatures and unfamiliar landscapes. The Manticora, with its roots in Persian and Indian mythology, represented the mysteries of the East, a place that was both alluring and terrifying to the medieval imagination. Over time, the legend of the Manticora has evolved, and while it no longer inspires the same level of fear as it did in ancient and medieval times, it continues to capture the imagination of storytellers, artists, and writers. In modern fantasy literature and role-playing games, the Manticora has found new life as a formidable and often terrifying antagonist. In works like the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop game, the Manticora is often depicted as a fierce and dangerous creature that adventurers must defeat to claim, treasure, or complete a quest. Its hybrid form and lethal abilities make a challenging foe, and its mythological roots give it an air of ancient menace that resonates with players and readers alike. The Manticora has also appeared in various forms of popular media, including books, movies, and video games. In each of these representations, the creature's core characteristics, a lion's body, a human face, and a deadly tail, remain consistent, although the specifics of its abilities and nature may vary. For many modern audiences, the Manticora represents a fascinating blend of myth and reality. a creature that bridges the gap between the natural world and the supernatural. Its enduring appeal lies in its ability to evoke both fear and wonder, reminding us of the primal forces that still lurk in the shadows of our imagination. The Manticora is a creature that has transcended time and culture, evolving from an ancient Persian legend into a symbol of fear, chaos, and the untamed wilderness. Its grotesque and fearsome appearance, combined with its reputation as a cunning and deadly predator, has made it a lasting figure in mythology and popular culture. Whether viewed as a guardian of forbidden knowledge, a symbol of human corruption, or simply a terrifying beast, the Manticora continues to captivate those who encounter its legend. In the Manticora, we see the embodiment of that fear, a reminder that there are still forces in the universe that we may never fully understand, and that some creatures, whether real or imagined, will always haunt the edges of our dreams.
Thanks for watching. It will be nice to see you again in the world of mythical creatures.